All right. So, welcome, Fickle family. Here we have Beth Ring, who was gracious enough to join us today and tell us about her transformation journey, which has been absolutely amazing with us. And so, without further ado, I'll kind of let Beth talk about herself, her journey, and mainly start with Beth, if you can. Like, what brought you to Fickle? Like, what were you struggling with before getting started?
Mhm. Sure. All right. Thanks, Felton. So I came to Fit Code 3 years ago. At that point, I was extremely sedentary, did no fitness routine, um, and and I had kind of quickly packed on some pounds in the last couple years. Um, I was unhappy with my appearance, and more importantly, I just couldn't do the things I thought I should be able to do. And
Mm,
And I think the point at which I really realized that was I was in my late 40s. I'm on a family vacation with my older teenage children. And we're going to climb a monument and off we go. And I am stopping at every landing. I can't breathe. They're now looking back at mom like, "You okay, mom?" "Oh, yeah, I'm okay. You go ahead. But I'm embarrassed and I'm feeling like there's no reason I should be like this. And this is not how I want to live. There's a lot of things I want to do. What could I do?
mhm.
Um, so I was sort of nervous about coming to a gym. I'd done a few other gyms in my life that never really panned out. Never had a clue as to really what to do when I got to the gym. But once I started, it became sort of a necessary part of my weekly routine. Initially, it wasn't daily, but it's almost become daily at this point.
For sure.
Yeah.
So,
hmm
the aha moment for you was the point where you're on a vacation and you're struggling to keep up with the kids,
With
and
yeah,
you're five, right? You're with all five of them, or
I do have 5 kids.
yeah,
Yes.
which is amazing. Like, I could barely keep up with two, so
it's
um, so really I could barely keep up with myself, which is really the truth of the matter.
that's
Uh, so tell me about in the last couple of years, what sort of results have you been able to achieve in the last couple of years? How have things changed for you, and what does that kind of journey or arc look like for you over the last couple of years?
an interesting question, and it's really changed a lot. I think when I joined, I was completely focused on controlling my weight. I had really no other goal.
Mm-hmm.
That was my goal. Uh, so I joined the Fit Code and I started coming to classes. And after 6 weeks, I did the InBody again and found I hadn't lost any weight. I gained a little muscle, lost a little fat, but very little changes. Um, so at that point, I decided to do the next 6 week challenge. And that was when I realized, hey, I'm not stuck at this weight forever. There are things I can do to change it. And had some success with that one. Did another one. Uh, kind of eventually got down to that goal weight. In the meantime, I realized that it wasn't about the weight.
Mm,
It was about what I could do.
mm,
And I started to be able to do more, get a lot more confident in what my body could do. That was what is now my motivation to go to the gym. So it changed a lot.
for sure. And
hmm
recently, you went to Indiana Dunes with the kids, right? And can you
Yeah,
tell me about that juxtaposition between now and
sure.
before?
So we're walking. It's just a family walk. Uh, it's toward the end. We've walked about 3 or 4 miles on the beach, and we look at a map, and it's another mile and a half flat to go around a dune, around a parking lot, back to the car, or up over the dune, right to the parking lot to the car. So the kids said that they were ready to go back to the car. So up we go, right? And my oldest, who's now 24, he got up there and he was just hugging a tree, telling me he could not make one more step. And, I am holding on to my 13-year-old, kind of helping him up because he's ready to collapse. In fact, he did sit down a couple times. and I was wearing my MyZone, and I got up there and I'm like, yeah, green zone the whole way. So clearly it works, right? So I'm very happy with where I've been over the 3 year change.
For sure. So definitely a transition in terms of physical conditioning and strength and things that you can do.
Correct.
Awesome. And then what about the transformation physically for yourself? I know that it's not, obviously we've talked about this and that's not a huge driving force for you now, but like from where you were before, like can you tell kind of people like where you were, what body from?
But basically before I was at 174 pounds and 40 something percent body fat. And at the lowest I've been was down to 135, 25% body fat. There's been some health challenges for me in the last couple months that have me a little higher than that at this point. But I do know that if I know what to do. I have the tools to change it, but I've also decided not to focus so much on what that number is. So
yes, which is I think a bigger transformation in a way as well. Like it's not always about that number, but instead it's about like how do I feel on a day-to-day basis?
How do I feel? What can I do?
What can I do?
Yeah.
Like, I can still have some of those things that I enjoy as well and not feel guilty about it, right?
Absolutely.
And with that as well, and you mentioned a 6-week challenge in the beginning, and then any other programs you felt have helped you along the way?
Absolutely. Sorry I should have mentioned. So I've done the 6-week challenge, and then I don't remember the timing, but I signed up for the Empowered Youth Coaching. What I liked about the idea of that was a nutrition plan that didn't exclude so much like that you get with a 6-week plan. Something that was a lot more maintainable long-term. And I also have been doing one-on-one strength training with you pretty much the whole lockdown pandemic times. So things have been progressing pretty well, I think. I've had mentioned of health changes so that I'd have surgery and I'd have to sit it out for a while and then I'd have to come back. But I was always impressed because you could give me an exercise plan that was either modified for my issues or oh, you're getting better, so it's too easy. Here's more weight.
I've been known to do that once or twice, I guess.
You have. Too easy. I think if you're still breathing at the end of the workout, it's too easy and you just...
No, stop it. And then, with kind of just some more kudos to you in terms of your progress, from scaling Kilimanjaro and along the way your journey, as you mentioned, overcoming some health issues and then getting back on track once, like kind of that laser focus that you have, which is
it became addicted to the exercise, and being told that I couldn't exercise that was worse than anything I got put through. I didn't like the forced rest periods.
Yeah. But those rest periods, I think, are, and you coming back from that, I know you didn't like it, but testament to you, because you work back like through those challenges, and where a lot of people would just kind of throw in the towel. Like, you're like, hey, let's get back at it. Let's make things happen. Let's create new goals for myself. Whether it's increasing mobility or just getting stronger, getting back to where I was, and so many kudos to you on that. So,
Thank you.
Anything you'd like to add?
Yeah. I think one of the things I've learned is that you can't control so much. You can't control your future health. You can't control pandemic stuff. There's just always stuff out there you can't control. So the only thing you really can do is take those steps that will make it the best chance for you to stay healthy for a long time. And so I would say that if you're looking ahead and you say, if I don't make changes and I just keep doing exactly what I'm doing right now, what does next year look like? What does 5 years down the road look like? Is that what I want? And if it's not, that the only person that can change that is you. So.
Love it. Profound.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you, Beth. Appreciate it. Appreciate
You're
your
welcome.
time, and thank you for sharing your story. And I'm sure to be inspiration to many. So appreciate you.
Great. Thank you, Shelton.
Thank you.